Hi guys, my name is G.P.S. and welcome back to my channel. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving celebration. If you don't, I just hope you had a great week. And as you can see, we are in a slightly different setting today. And that's because we'll be talking about something that I don't think I've ever done a dedicated video on, which is my designer ready-to-wear collection. I've been getting so many requests from you guys to do maybe a closet tour or talk more about my ready-to-wear collection. And I have been sort of thinking about how I could do it because currently my clothes are sitting in 5 different closets and I don't think it would be the most enjoyable content to watch for me to take you guys from closet to closet and show you 30 different black hoodies and 30 different black t-shirts, all from different designers, but ones that just essentially look the same on camera. But thankfully yesterday was Thanksgiving, so I had some time to catch up on my YouTube. And while I don't watch a huge amount of luxury YouTube, one person that I love watching is Wen Stokes, who, in case you're not familiar with her and you love Louis Vuitton, you have to go and check her out. She has the most incredible collection of Louis Vuitton ready-to-wear. And I was watching one of her videos where she was doing, I believe it was a handbag tag. And I don't think she was the original person who started it, but if I can find who it was, I'll make sure to leave both of them linked down below so you can go and check them out. But she had this series of questions that she was answering to with pieces from her collection, and I thought it would be the most genius way of doing this with ready-to-wear because I feel it would be much less repetitive and overwhelming to show you pieces that have some sort of story tied to them rather than just showing you an overwhelming amount of, in my case, black hoodies and black t-shirts. So in case you're interested in seeing my ready-to-wear collection, then please keep on watching. So the first question was about the most disappointing piece in my collection, which has to be this hoodie. Now this hoodie is from a company called Vetements, a brand called Vetements, which you might be familiar with. They're quite a disruptive company and they have a very strong vision of what they want to stand for. And this is a piece that I absolutely love. I love the idea and the aesthetic of it. It's just a really simple black hoodie, which you'll see is a recurring theme in my collection. But from the front, it just looks like a really simple black hoodie, which is kind of cropped in the front. But as soon as you turn it around, you can see all this incredible draping detail, which makes this hoodie incredibly uncomfortable to wear. Even just putting this on is an absolute struggle because every time you put this on, you're basically, for some reason, you have to squeeze your head through this tiny little cutout here. And every single time I put this on, all of my sunscreen gets wiped up on the hood, which I guess I could avoid if I put this on before I do my skincare, but I never think about that. And while I love the design and the idea of this, it looks really cool on the hanger as it's sitting here. As soon as you put this on, it just looks sort of almost strange. It just looks like you're caught onto something, and it also feels like that. It's quite restrictive moving around in this. Just the way that the draping is done, it's not really practical. And if it looked great, I could put up with that. But unless you're seated and someone fixes the draping on the back, as soon as you start moving around in this, it just sort of starts creeping up. It looks strange and awkward the way you walk in this. So because of that reason, I would have to call this the most disappointing piece in my collection. It's still not something that I would ever get rid of because I love the draping in the back. I love the idea and even the execution itself is beautifully done, but it's just not a piece that looks great on an actual human being. The next question, and in case you see me looking down there, is because my computer is right there with all the questions pulled up. So the next is the most nostalgic piece in my collection, which has to be another black hoodie, but this time it is from Balenciaga, which you wouldn't be able to tell unless you saw the back of this, which it just says Balenciaga up here, which I love this really subtle branding. And then on the front you have this beautiful sort of picture. I'm not sure if it's a painting of Paris, which I love. And then it also says Paris down here. So perhaps if you saw me wearing this on the street, you would think that I'm just wearing some sort of merch from Paris, which I really like about this. But if you pull up the hood, you can see that it says Balenciaga there. I really like this sort of subtle detail. And the reason why I chose this as the most sort of nostalgic piece in my collection is actually for two reasons. Number one is that this is a shape that is no longer in production from Balenciaga. This was a cropped shape that they used to do for their men's hoodies when Alexander Wang was still with the brand. They no longer do this, but for some reason, they were just so incredibly flattering. I cannot tell you why. I'm definitely not the kind of person who would go for a cropped hoodie over a regular hoodie. But there's just something about these that just makes your upper body look so elongated. I absolutely love the cut on this, and I wish that Balenciaga still made these. But they no longer do this, so that's reason number one. And then the second reason is that I picked this up from one of my absolute favorite boutiques in Boston. I never lived in Boston, but we used to go up there, I think for the past 3 years, once a year after the holidays, because there is this one store in Boston called Riccardi, which if you're from Boston, do let me know if you're familiar with them. They are this really small little boutique that I think is independently owned. And if you look at it from the outside, you wouldn't really think much about them. But as soon as you go in, they have the most incredible buy. They carry brands like Balenciaga, Off-White, Thom Browne, Omiri, maybe even Gucci. You can often find pieces there that you would not see anywhere else. I have no idea who does their buying, but they must have great taste because they have the most unique, coolest stuff, obviously because they are a small, independently owned boutique. Their selection is quite small and they only have, I think, a couple sizes in each piece. But if you get to go, definitely check them out. I think you would really find some incredible pieces. It's kind of like a treasure hunt going there because you never know what you're going to find. And I always come out with some incredibly unique pieces. Obviously this year I will not be able to go to Riccardi, which is a shame, and perhaps that's the main reason why I chose this. But I do love the shape. I do love the cut. I love everything about this. And it just has some really great memories to it. The next question was about the most underrated piece in my collection, which I wouldn't just say it's one piece, it's more like a line, which is the equestrian line from Hermes. That is sort of like a sub-brand within the house of Hermes. If you look at their ready-to-wear pieces in the boutique, you'll often have to go to a separate section to find their equestrian pieces. And even online, if you just look up their ready-to-wear, this will be at a completely separate section, which these are pieces that were obviously made for horse riding, but you don't necessarily have to own a horse to buy these pieces. If you love Hermes's craftsmanship, their elegance, and their way of thinking, but you find their pieces, their regular ready-to-wear pieces, a little bit outdated, then I think you would really enjoy their equestrian line. Because each piece obviously has functionality in the center, considering that these were made for horse riding and living an active life. But there is still that sort of Hermes elegance and the aesthetic that goes into the making of every single one of these. And this happens to be my favorite piece. I do have a couple of jackets from the equestrian line, but this is the one that I would highly recommend. It's really reasonably priced. I think it's about $1,000 if you buy it in the US. And it's a piece that I pretty much wear from September, October, all the way up until probably March. As soon as it starts getting cold, this is the first piece that I reach for because I can wear this on its own over a t-shirt and I know it's going to keep me warm. And once it starts getting a little bit colder, this is what I slip on underneath like a cashmere coat or a thinner jacket, just to stay warm without having to wear a huge puffy jacket. And it's really a piece that was, in my opinion, an incredible investment. It comes in a couple of different colors. So if I were you, this is definitely something that I would look into, especially if you've been sort of eyeing Hermes ready-to-wear pieces. this would be, I think, a really, really good place to start. And yeah, if you are not familiar with their equestrian line, it's definitely worth looking at. Okay, next up, the most used piece in my collection, which I have to give a shout out to a brand here because this is a brand that I wear pretty much every single day, and it is Chrome Hearts. Now, if you're not familiar with Chrome Hearts, they are an LA-based brand that has a really, really strong aesthetic. In case you're not familiar with them, I think the best thing that you can do is to go onto their Instagram and just have a quick look at their feed. You will get an incredibly clear understanding of what they stand for and what they do. They have this sort of 90s rock band mixed with a little bit of gothic aesthetic to them. That's the best way that I could describe them. But they're a brand that's extremely popular in Asia and some parts of the US. And I absolutely love their sort of more basic designs. I have a bunch of their hoodies. This just happens to be one that I pulled out, which has this quite loud tattoo sleeve detail to it. But I love their t-shirts. I wear their t-shirts pretty much every single day when I'm just walking around the house and I'm getting errands done. I wear their t-shirts and their hoodies. I do have their zip hoodies here as well, which I pulled out two of. So I have two of their zip hoodies, which are just really, really simple. They're usually black or white. And then each one of them I love that feature this sort of really, really long drawstring detail. And then on the zip hoodies, the zipper, the pull is actually made of silver. And then they each have this quite, I think, distinct branding to them. This is actually from Las Vegas because they used to do this city collection. There were certain designs that you could only get in certain cities because they don't actually sell online. You have to go to their boutiques to be able to pick up their pieces. So they had this range of different designs that certain pieces were only available in Las Vegas. Different ones were only in LA or New York. So yeah, I love Chrome Hearts. I really enjoy their aesthetic. And I just like their basics. They are a true, I would call them a lifestyle brand because they make everything under the sun. I mean, I think they're most well known for their fine jewelry. They make silver and gold jewelry, but they do furniture, homeware, I mean, even ketchup bottles made of silver. So whatever you can think of, they've probably made it, or if they haven't, they're already working on it. I love their ready-to-wear basics. It's just something that I reach for on a daily basis, and they have to be my most used pieces in my collection. Okay, favorite piece from favorite brand, which was really a no-brainer. It had to be this bucket t-shirt from Hermes, which I know I talked about before. These t-shirts have been around for a long, long time. There was a period when Hermes didn't make these, I think for maybe a year, but they've been back for the past couple of years, which I'm really happy about. Hermes makes these really, really simple black t-shirts in their Hermes collection that are made of like it's a thicker cotton fabric, which makes them really easy to dress up or dress down. This is the kind of t-shirt that you can wear with a pair of jeans and you can go from a formal meeting with a blazer on to a party at night. It just sort of works in every single setting, just like a black t-shirt would do. But because of the fabric, it just makes it a little bit more refined and a little bit more elegant, I would say. They come in a bunch of different colors. Obviously, I mainly have them in black. I think I have about like 10 in black and then one in navy blue. But they're really, really simple. They just have this little pocket here with an H embroidery, which is extremely subtle in case you're not into branding. You guys are probably tired of seeing me in these, but it's really just something that I genuinely wear on a regular basis. The next question was about a piece that, in my opinion, is not worth the hype. And again, I have to talk about an entire brand, which in this case is Balenciaga. Now, I think Balenciaga had a really, really good couple of years. They were all the craze even last year and especially the year before with the sock boots, with the Triple S sneakers, with their sort of campaign designs. Everyone adored Balenciaga, but I feel that people are sort of getting tired of them, or I can definitely speak for myself, I am. They've not been able to sort of reinvent themselves for the past couple of seasons. They are just trying to pull and play the exact same cards, and I think it's not really working anymore. So at this point, I wouldn't really recommend that you invest in Balenciaga ready-to-wear unless you find some amazing steals at a great discount, which I'm sure you would be able to, considering that it's around Black Friday. But other than that, I don't think that you should walk into Balenciaga and buy a piece full price. It's not because their aesthetic is not there or it's because the quality is not great. I love the pieces that I have from the brand, but at this point it's something that I'm sort of getting a little tired of, but I'm excited to see where they take the brand, and I hope that they can create that sort of hype again with something new. The next question is about a piece that's worth the hype, which I'm sure you will need no introduction to. It is the iconic Balmain blazer, the double-breasted blazers that they do. I think at this point this has become a staple in most luxury lovers' collection. It has become a staple in mine as well. I absolutely love these. These are, again, the sort of thing, I think there is a theme going on here, that if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to wear, you don't want to be overdressed or underdressed, but you're going to an event or you're going to work or a meeting, this is the sort of thing that you can just throw on with a white t-shirt, a black t-shirt, and be immediately 1,000 times more pulled together. And you can put this on with really whatever you want to. You can style this with a pair of joggers, and it will still make you look like that you had just spent an hour thinking about what you're going to wear. I think it's a really good investment. This is a piece that you can often find at a good discount, so if I can find any, I'll make sure to link them down below. So I wouldn't necessarily say to go out there and buy these full price, but if you ever see this pop up online at a good price, I don't think that you would be disappointed. It's really a phenomenal investment in your collection. And at this point, I think, just like a Chanel jacket, this is pretty much considered a timeless classic. The next two questions I kind of already answered. The first one was about a piece that has the best memories attached to it, which I think it would have to be my Balmain blazer. And that's because I was looking at that blazer for so long that when I finally got it, I was just so happy about that. And it's also a piece that I wore to my college graduation. And then the next piece, which is my everyday thing that I wear, which has to be either my Hermes t-shirts, which is something that I honestly wear on a regular basis, or definitely something from Chrome Hearts. If I'm not wearing Chrome Hearts, I'm probably wearing an Hermes t-shirt if you see me around. The next question is about the least expensive piece, and I'm not a person who strictly and exclusively wears designer. I love pieces from the high street, and one that I would love to put on your radar is t-shirts from Uniqlo. So the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now is from the Uniqlo, Billie Eilish, and Murakami collaboration. But anything from Uniqlo I love. I find their quality to be superior to every other high street brand out there. Their fits and their cuts are great. So I think I have quite a few t-shirts from Uniqlo and then COS. They are two brands that I absolutely love. Just their plain black t-shirts. I'll make sure to link them down below. But yeah, Uniqlo would definitely be a great recommendation. In case you're not familiar with them, definitely start with their black t-shirts, and I think you'll quickly become obsessed with their quality and their pricing as well. And then the next one is the most expensive piece, which I spent quite a bit of time thinking about, and then I narrowed it down to two particular pieces in my collection, but I have a feeling that this one might be slightly more expensive than the other one, which is this jacket from Saint Laurent. Now, you might be familiar with this shape. This is their, I think, iconic, I believe it's called the teddy jacket shape, which I do have in the original version with black leather details. If I can find, I'll put a picture of it up here. The only difference is that it's made of fur. So this part is black and then the sleeves are white. And I think it just adds something to any outfit you put this on with. It might have been expensive, but it sort of does look it. I get so many compliments every single time I wear this. And while it doesn't scream Saint Laurent, you wouldn't necessarily know that this is a piece from Saint Laurent. There's just something about this that just add something to any collection. And I love pairing this with sometimes the Hermes t-shirts or Chrome Hearts t-shirt because it's so simple but so elegant and unique at the same time. We have 2 questions left, and the first one is about the oldest piece in my collection. And I'm pretty sure I don't have the oldest piece because I'm not someone who holds on to pieces. If I don't wear something for a year, maybe a year and a half, it immediately gets donated. Or maybe if it's something unique, I would try to sell it, but more often than not, it goes to donation. So I definitely don't have the oldest piece, but the oldest phase that I can remember that I had with a brand was with Acne Studios. And this is one piece that I have left from them, which is, yes, another plain black hoodie, but it does have the Acne Studios smiley face on the front. But other than that, there's really nothing special about the cut or the fit. It's very warm, very cozy, and very soft, but it doesn't come anywhere near my Chrome Hearts ones. So I would definitely choose those over this, but it's still something that I wanted to mention because I did have quite a long and quite extensive love affair with Acne Studios at one point. And then the last question is about the newest piece. And the last purchase that I made was at Hermes. And I bought this jacket from their fall winter 2020 collection from the men's line because they had a bomber jacket that they came out with for, was it for fall winter? No, I think it was actually for spring summer for women. I put a picture of it up here. It was the most beautiful bomber jacket. It was made of sort of like a wool, maybe cashmere material on the front, and then the sleeves were made of leather. And I was desperate to buy it, but no matter how many time I tried it, no matter what size I tried, I just couldn't make it work. It was way too cropped and way too short for me. So I thought I would give the men's version a try, which is definitely much more simplistic. And it sort of does look like a university kind of sweater or jacket. As you would think, it's black on the front. And then the sleeves and the back are sort of this, like in a tube or in a tank kind of color. Hermes does change the name of the color for their clothing each season, so I'm not sure what they called it for fall winter, but it's just a really nice simple kind of jacket that again is something that you can throw on with the most simplistic outfits and it will make you look a little bit more pulled together, which is exactly what I like to go for. If I'm going to invest in something, I want it to have that effect. I want to be able to throw it on with a plain, inexpensive t-shirt, and I want it to just immediately make it look like $1 million. And I think these sort of things do that. So this is from the Hermes Fall Winter line. It's still very much available in case you're interested. It's quite simply just featured the Hermes Clou de Sal button closures. It's fleece lined, which makes it really, really soft and warm. And then it has 2 zipper pockets. And that's pretty much it. But I do think it's, again, one of those pieces that is great to invest in because it's not too seasonal. It's not too in your face and out there. But the quality and what it does to your wardrobe really allows it to transform any outfit. But this is it, guys. This completes today's video on pieces from my ready-to-wear collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if there are any other tag videos out there that you would want me to do, then please be sure to let me know in the comments section. And again, I'll make sure to have Wenwen's video linked down below. You guys should go and check her out. And if you enjoy this, and if you want me to talk more about ready-to-wear, then please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!